Welcome to another Milepost of the V-Twin Life. We talk motorcycles powered by those V-Twins, why we enjoy it, what they mean to us, and just why we enjoy the open road. V-Twin Life is brought to you by CrashIncClothing.com, also known as Crash Inc. on the World Wide Web. Man, Brad is on a lot of stuff. You want to get some merchandise, you want to get parts, you want to upgrade stuff on your bike. He is a dealer for a lot of great companies, so check out CrashIncClothing.com and see what they got for you. Now, we got Wild Ass. You want to add some comfort to your ass? Man, Wild Ass has got you covered. They've got something you like. Use that promo code DWoods. Get yourself free shipping and put that ass in comfort. Can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the world in LED lighting and LED technology. Man, these got some great stuff. You want to light up your life at nighttime? You want to be seen during the day? Hey, check out Custom Dynamics. Can't forget Lexan. These guys got some great comm units. I just got the new G16s. Man, you want to talk quality? These things are awesome. Loudspeakers, plus they got some air pumps, small ones you keep in your bike. They're ready to go. So check out Lexan. So now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Milepost 113 with Mandee, a.k.a. Frosty, is coming to hang out tonight. And she recently competed in the, I don't know, I think it's fair to say the first annual Valkyrie Rally, an all-women's motorcycle rally. So I thought this would be an awesome way to hear about it because I've never done any rallies. They're intriguing to me. I don't know a whole lot about them. So why not talk to somebody that now has some experience with it? So thanks for coming on, Mandee. There you are.
It's trying to catch up again. Yeah, it's just like we were good and then we went live and now we're not good again.
No, it's just going to have us little hiccups, I guess, for you every now and then. But yeah, thanks for coming on and kind of share some stories and talk a little bit about the Valkyrie Rally, which you recently competed in, and sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a blast. So I heard you kind of say we glitched just a little bit, but yeah, it was the first annual Valkyrie Rally, which was all women. And I believe initially 33 women had signed up. There was a couple of them that kind of had to back out a little bit, either sick, bike issues, things like that. But we started in Fort Smith, Arkansas was where we started. So that was, and then this was the, Nancy, when she scheduled this rally, also she gave us the option to remote start, which you don't hear of that very often with the rallies. So that was really cool that there were some people that couldn't make it that were able to remote start, and it had to be within 600 miles of Fort Smith.
Yeah, I actually was cool. I found their website and did a little bit of reading on it, kind of making some, notes and whatnot. But what made you want to attempt it and try to get into it?
Well, Hoka Hay really interested me quite a bit. But this, signing up for next year, I was like, don't know if I'm quite ready yet for that. Miles, I still need more miles. I need to figure out getting myself unlost because I tend to get myself lost frequently. But somebody had and so I'm like, well, I'll go ahead and give it a try. And I debated on signing up. So I hesitated for quite a while until I started seeing more people. I actually went to sign up and backed out of it because I wasn't quite sure if I was ready for it yet.
I could understand it being a little intimidating.
It's a lot of planning.
I've heard that from a few people, like even talking, and a couple of guys have had on for the IBR rally, and I could imagine the planning, especially when they're talking, the points and where you got to route yourselves and build your route to try to maximize your points. And I could imagine that part would be very intimidating. And I'm not a tech savvy person, so I know that would be a struggle for myself.
Hold on. I think I lost you again.
No, I'm here. I can see me. I can see you.
Jump in on my phone. Okay. Go again. I don't know why it's glitching.
No, I was just talking, like I've had a couple guys from the IBR when it comes to the planning and routing, because, you got your points, your places you got to go, destinations to get your points. And I'm not a big tech savvy person, so I can imagine just trying to build your route to maximize your points can be quite intimidating and a challenge.
So I'm catching a couple of things. points. Hold on just a second. I'm going to walk outside and see if this makes a difference. Points for sure are a big thing. So you want to, when you map yourself, when you get the map, let me show you the map here. So when you, with the rally itself, they turn around and go,
See, we had like 20 minutes. Mandee had everything going great. And then it's like we go live and her internet doesn't want to cooperate today. So what's everybody going on? Thanks, Ray, for tuning in. You got Springer Mike. Shell's watching. Mandee just now left. Hopefully she tries to come back because I'm not good at this whole thing by myself. But no, I figured this would be a great one. Mandee coming on, you know, being as she recently did the Valkyrie Rally, so it'll be cool to hear about it. So now she's back.
Yeah, I went on my phone. Hopefully that makes a difference. Yep. I'm going to
phone sideways. There you go.
Okay, we'll try it this way. I think the phone's going to make a difference. Hold on.
Okay.
So, let's see. What were we talking about? Points and how we get the map and everything, right?
Yeah, mapping, kind of that direction is where we're kind of going for a few.
Okay, so we actually got our map earlier than what most rallies give you the maps. So they sent us our map on Saturday via email. And then here's what your points, can you see all the different pins?
Yeah.
So it tells you these are the areas that are for bonuses, and those are your point areas. So I went through and I looked at everything and I wanted to see what was my high point area, and I changed everything to purple. And then my purple points were 700 points. And then I kind of mapped down from there. My, I believe my green was 500 or 600 and higher. And then my yellow was 500 and higher. And then you got to kind of map yourself on your points. So this is a 30-hour rally. In 30 hours, in this rally, we had a mandatory rest period, 4 to 8 hours. So you want to take the most amount of points that you can get. And for our rest time, it was 25 points a minute. So you want to take all 8 hours because that is 12,000 points. You know, and I talked to Ken Andrews after we got done, and he said, you can't ride and make up those points.
Yeah, and that's a great guy to have, you know, bounce questions off of, you know, for advice like that. And I totally agree.
Yeah, yep. And, you know, he had messaged me before he went to this, and he's like, well, what's your plan? I'm like, my plan is to start, finish, and get some points in between there. And we did. So we kind of, when you look at what's really neat when you get this is, so here's my rally book. And these are our bonuses. So in these bonuses, that's where you have to kind of figure out what your points are worth, where you're going, what your pictures are like, things like that.
So now I know I've heard some people are, you know, just from people that I've talked to and, you know, learning this stuff myself, that using like Basecamp is very popular, I guess, for a lot of these people. My understanding, I could be wrong, but you know, it's that part is where it's fun to hear about it. I don't understand a lot of it. It's like I said, I'm not that tech savvy, but that seems to be the interesting part, is getting your map laid out to try to maximize your time and, I guess, you know, not get lost along the way.
Yeah. So I didn't load Basecamp because I don't know Basecamp. So I had, when I saw this rally, I kind of had looked it up, and I'm like, okay, what's, you know, a lot of people are like, a rally, Sturgis. Well, a rally is a scavenger hunt for motorcycles. If I can explain it that way. To prepare myself, I really started to using Google. So Google Maps is great. If you go on there, and I started, I would look at the map in the area that we were going to travel to and zoom in on it. And then I would type in attractions. So that's how I started to train myself for the rally was, and okay, I'm going to go see this, 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 and this. And then I would have to map myself and get there. So Basecamp, I didn't know.
So when they sent this file over, you could do it in Basecamp or you could do it in Google Maps. And I knew Google Maps better.
Yeah, no, I'd understand that. Somebody had a great question. So did you route it yourself or collaborate with someone on your map?
So when we got the maps, my best friend and I, Jessica, she had signed up a couple weeks later than I did. We had talked about kind of doing it together. Weren't quite sure if we were going to do it together or not. When we got the map, she routed her map out. And it was funny because we're like, are we going to do this together? Are we going to write it separate? We never made a decision until we actually saw each other in person down in Fort Smith that, yep. So she sent me a picture of her map and I went, holy crap. Well, I had mapped out my map and I sent her a picture of it. And she sent me the same message back of, our maps are identical. Completely identical, other than I had missed one site. I can go through 5 different rules. Rule number 1 of rallying is make sure you read your entire rally book and know all the rules, because there's something in there that you may not have questions for, or you're going to miss something and you're going to get penalized for it. Rule number 2 is read this is your rally book here. I went through and I highlighted everything, how to take the picture, when the availability was. But Jess had routed her route, but she routed hers clockwise. I routed mine counterclockwise. So I only routed it once, where I had heard numerous people saying that they had routed 8 different routes and then they weren't quite sure what route they were going to take until they got there. I routed one route and that's the route I took.
And you brought up a good point that I forgot about, just from conversations. Some of these checkpoints and whatnot that you got to get to have time frames that they're only open at certain times for you to be there. Is that correct?
Correct. So we had our first checkpoint was where they wanted everybody to go to, and that was where a brick was placed for Paul Tong. And Paul, so they wanted everybody there to check into that one. So if we had any questions at all, Chris Hopper was there. There were a couple different people there. So, okay, we have a question. Did we do this correct? Was there something else we needed to do? And then from there, after that stop, then we went on our own. So that one particular was, I got to look at the book, but I believe the availability on that one was on Friday from 8 a.m. to 8:15 a.m.
Oh, Jesus. So that's a small window.
Yep. So that was our first stop. Now, I had, I got to look at my book, because one that I had routed, because we're new to this and I didn't ask questions, rule number 3, 4, whatever, always ask questions at the rally master in the meeting. My understanding was one of the availabilities on it was it said Saturday from 8 to 1:30. And I thought that it meant if you wanted to go inside and visit, because it was a community center, I think is what it was. So in my head, that was my next stop after the first stop. Well, if I would have went that way, I wouldn't have gotten the points, because it was only available from Saturday from 8 to 1:30. So rule number 2, read the rally book and the availabilities.
Yeah. And that's, and the cool thing, I mean, this was, an entry rally for a lot of you people that, from looks that signed up, are all new to this. So it's a great educational experience, I think.
For sure. There were actually, I believe, 3 or 4, and if anybody's on chat that's with the rally, I can't see the chat, but if anybody is on there was 3 or 4 seasoned rally women there for if we had questions, things like that they were able to go, okay, this is how I do it, things like that. And we're all in a group chat too on Facebook. So we were able to sit and ask questions as this continued to get closer.
I think that's super cool. That's a smart way. I think, a of them doing. Especially for, everybody's learning. So that's great when even during the rally, you still got, someone you can go to for questions and still ask.
Yep. Yeah. It was, they held the seasoned rally person, those riders to a higher standard than kind of what we did. But it's a little nerve wracking because you don't understand, okay, how does this work? And if something happens, what do I do?
Right. So I know you said, you were going to sign up and you hesitated. What was, what drive got you to sign up and go through with it?
Nancy says that she bribed me. She's like, I'll have a gift. She goes, if you sign up and come down, I'll have a gift for you. And I'm like, well, I planned on doing it. I just wanted to make sure that I was ready for it before I said, okay, yep, this is what I'm going to do. I had to take time off of work. I had to make sure that I could schedule it. October for Minnesota, you never know what the weather's going to be like. So it was either ride my bike or trailer it down. And the weather was perfect. So we rode down. And that's what I wanted to. My first decision was I wanted to be down at Fort Smith because that's where I wanted to start with everybody else down there. And I'm glad I made that decision.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that time of year is tough. I think, when we're all getting towards fall and weather can definitely play a factor. It could be great where you're at, but I know Arkansas is a little ways for you to go.
It was about, I want to say 880 miles is what it was. So,
yeah,
and we did that. Yeah. But we did it in a day, but we had good weather when we headed down. It wasn't a great start to head down there. When we left our house, it was raining a little bit. We stopped to get gas. We had just put a brand new battery in my bike.
Damn internet. Come back, Mandee. Good old internet troubles. It's not being very nice to her tonight. Hey, there you are. Now you're back.
Okay, good. So when we left, we got to the gas station and my bike didn't want to start. It click, 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 click at the gas. And so we just put a new battery in it. But I have to say, I'm glad that happened there instead of it happening when I was during the rally, because that was an hour and a half for us to figure out why the bike wouldn't start. And it was just some loose cables. But we made it down there. We made it down to Joplin, and then of course it was a downpour. But we sat and watched the weather, and there was some, as Chris Hopper said, there was some sporty weather coming through. So we said we'd like to participate, so we participated and we made it down there.
So how was the weather during the rally for you, though? Was it all right?
It was beautiful. When we left in the morning, I don't remember what the temperature was in the morning, but we hit some temperatures up in Kansas that were, it started to get chilly. And then in the morning, I believe it was probably 36. And Jess and I ended up having to put our heated gear on for that day.
See, that's one thing I haven't pulled the trigger on yet is heated gear. I mean, my bike's all wired for because I know my dad had the heated coat and whatnot, but I haven't gone there yet. Yeah,
I honestly say it's a must-have. It has extended our riding. I mean, we rode today. So when we left this morning, I think it was about 44 degrees. And when we got home, it was 60. But we never plugged in. We still had it on, but it was there.
Yeah. It's a good thing to have in your pocket for sure.
Yep.
So my other question, so I know during the rally, so you got to take, your photos and whatnot at your points. Do you have to submit those right away or send them in, or how does that part of it work?
Well, we submitted ours right away, and it's on the app itself, it'll tell you, so you take your picture, and let me tell you, some of these spots are not easy to find. So there's important things that you need to take. And I have a list of items on my bike to make sure that I took with me when I got off of my bike. So it was your phone and your flag, and my flag's right there. You carry that around with you and make sure you don't leave it at any site either, because if you lose that flag, it's a penalty. And then anytime you make a stop, you have to be in the picture when you submit it too. So, what was your question again? I forgot. Oh, how to submit it on the app. Yep. So you take your picture and then you have to go through and you go, okay, well, and then we carried this with us too. So this is your scorecard too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a scorecard you carry, and anytime you take a picture, you write it down, because you want to make sure that, okay, I took this picture at, so our first one was other 5. So when you submit it, you have to submit the OTH 5 and then the sequence number, and the sequence number is what it is on here, and your rider number. Then you submit your picture, and then you wait for it to accept it, and then it would say back to us, okay, it's been accepted. And then instantly, with the software that they have, it's already scoring us.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
so I don't know if you saw that. That was really nice that the software that Paul has is, as we're submitting all of our bonuses, it's scoring us and telling us, oh, yep, this is accepted. Or if we got something that wasn't accepted, it wouldn't tell us until we got back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was kind of curious about how that part worked. So I know
Yep.
Jason Setzer want to know, do you use wired or battery heated gear?
I use wired.
Okay.
I don't want to worry about a battery. So it's all wired into my bike.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, Wrong Way says he plugs in when it's below 50. I'm still riding in a sweatshirt when it's 50. Come on, Michael. Cheapers.
Nope. I've had my heated gear on. I haven't plugged in very much, but I didn't plug in today. It's nice though.
Yeah, I just always would just go in layers, but it's just worked for me.
Gear. Yeah. Yep. So with the points and stuff too, as we go, there was a couple stops that we had that it was like, we got to go. And you're trying to and then when you got to your next stop or your meal break or whatever, then you would submit what you could. But Jess and I really tried to submit our points as we went, because I didn't want to forget it.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, that was, I was just curious how that part works. So, I mean, whether, you texting somebody or how that aspect of submitting the things goes.
Yep, everything was on an app. So, a couple other rules while you're doing the rally. There's no social media. I actually sent a message out to my family and told them, unless it's emergency, please don't call me, because I wanted to make sure that I was focused enough on the rally and not something else that I didn't need to focus on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it's a no social media rule. So you don't want to be on there. You can be on there and look, but don't comment. Don't like anything. Yeah.
And don't wish people happy birthday like Ken.
Yeah, you want your main focus on the rally. Yep.
No happy birthdays, and don't ever forget Florida.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have any mishaps within your scoring things, or did you when it came to finding stuff?
When we came in and we checked in, everything that we had was approved. So let me tell you, in the rally world, when you're looking for a bonus and you go, there's one bonus that there's a couple. So we started in Oklahoma, and we did there was a couple of vet memorials, and I'll kind of explain how we did our route. Hop's Adventures is a social media friend. Yeah, it is, Hop. Yeah, sure it is. So we went so there's combo bonuses when it comes to a rally too. So not only are you making sure that you're getting your bonuses, you're getting your combos as well. So your combos, like one of them was 3 of the vets. So 3 of those vet memorials throughout your route was worth 2,500 points. So you want to make sure that you're getting those combo points, because there was 2 combo bonuses that were worth 2,500. And then another one was if you got one of each bonus, which was like a car, a vet, how they categorize them. That one right there was 5,000 points. Dang. So you want to make sure that you're getting those combo points. And those were really important to Jess and I to make sure that we got those. So not only your sleep bonus, your meal bonus, your combo bonus.
Maximize your points.
Yeah. Yep. So when we sat down for our meal bonus, which was 45 minutes, and that is also, you have to sit down at a restaurant. You can't go to like a Subway or a McDonald's. It's a sit-down restaurant where somebody serves you and gives you a menu. And it's 45 minutes. It's worth 5,000 points.
So then, of course, you got to, submit a picture in the restaurant.
You submit a picture of your rally flag, whichever way it is, and a receipt.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So that's how you submit that. Your sleep bonus was your rally flag with your start time for your sleep bonus, and then your end time receipt for your sleep bonus. And then it goes off, and you want to make sure your start time and your end time match. I mean, if you go over, that's great, but you don't want to go under, because that's 25 points per minute that you're missing out on.
So now you said receipt time. So when you go to take your sleep bonus, you got to stop somewhere to get a receipt to start your time?
Correct.
Okay.
So you want to make sure a gas station, wherever you're sleeping, is close, because they don't take a motel receipt either. Because motel receipts can be altered. So they have you do a gas station receipt. So the night that we stopped at Topeka. At the Capitol was our last stop. There was a gas station that was right close to our hotel. So we stopped there, grabbed our gas, went to the hotel, got checked in, slept. And then when we left in the morning, we went and got our coffee because we didn't need gas. So our coffee receipt was just as good.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, coffee's important.
Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, it wasn't our goat coffee, but we lived. But,
True.
I just want to, this rally was Hopper's and Paul's great idea. I mean, without this, this all women rally, this is the first one, all women, all for the same purpose. And then they brought Nancy in, and Nancy did an amazing job with the bonuses. Jessica and I bonused 24 total. That was with our combos, our meal, and our sleep. But there were a few stops that we stopped at that we probably spent a little bit more time than what we should have. We estimated probably 5 to 7 minutes to a stop. But the sites were just absolutely amazing. You had to take extra pictures, and the history and the vet memorials. To me, I wanted to stop and just take in the moment. And then when we hit the Capitol, it was about 8:30 at night, nobody there, and just peaceful. So we ended up spending a half an hour there where we could have, let's go. But we took some time there, took pictures and everything.
Well, it's a once in a lifetime thing you're doing starting. So, the way it is, like, remember it the best you can, where, you spend a few extra time, minutes or whatnot, and more pictures just to have those memories to be able to look back on. I think it's cool.
Oh, for sure. I am so happy that Jess and I decided to write it together. I had a lot of people asking me, are you going to write it by yourself? You're going to write it by with Jess? Jess and I ride good together. Jess and I are an amazing team together when it comes to planning, organizing, everything. And when we sat down and we looked at our maps, we kind of knew that we were going to ride together. But we had some hiccups in the morning. We went out, and if I can tell anybody anything before you do your first rally, get to know Google Maps and the steps that you have to take to it. So we did our My Maps. So we routed our route, but there's a next step that you have to take where you have to route it to guide you. So Jess had some issues in the morning with her route, and it wouldn't pull up. And I just happened to be able to go, okay, well, we've got the same route. Here it is. And I kind of, when we hit our first bonus and after we got our picture, my GPS was acting up. Her GPS was acting up. And I truly believe that it was a sign, because I had us mapped to go to that first stop, that it was only available on Saturday, and we wouldn't have gotten the points. So we ended up, instead of turning right, we turned left. And so we went to go find another bonus. We had issues trying to find that bonus. We pulled over into a parking lot, and I walked back to Jess and I looked at her and I told her, we need to regroup. We're getting mad at this point because GPS isn't working and you're getting frustrated going, now what am I going to do? So we kind of rerouted and we headed out, and we headed over to Oklahoma City to get our 3 bonuses that were pretty close over there. So, and that's another thing is you can't get frustrated. And I kept thinking, what the hell did I do wrong? I knew I mapped this right.
Yeah, putting 3 people screwed up on that one and went Friday.
Yeah. I heard from people, hey, I saw somebody over there on Friday, and I'm like, well, but they weren't supposed to be,
Read the fine print.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I did not look at. And Jess kept telling me it's not available till Saturday. So we actually were going to try and catch it on the way back. We just didn't have enough time. We just didn't have enough time. I mean, Jess gets better gas mileage than I do. I'm running a 14. She's running a 20. I'm lucky at 80 miles an hour if I get 30 miles to the gallon, where she's getting 60. So you really and I told Chad when we got back, the first thing I looked at him and I go, number one thing that we're changing this winter is I want an auxiliary tank. If I'm going to continue to keep doing rallies, I want an auxiliary tank.
They can be handy. No, I carry fuel bottles in my saddlebag just for, some of those places, like, you're going through unfamiliar areas. It happened to me going down to the turbo run. I ran out of gas a half mile before the gas station, meeting up with Frank. We're all heading down I-5. We're going to meet Frank in Weed, California. I would have made it if it wasn't for the 2-mile mountain pass we were climbing into Weed, California, where literally I get to the very top of the hill. There's the exit on the right, and I ran out of gas. And just down the hill around the corner, I was maybe a quarter mile from the gas station when I ran out. Like, oh, well. And that's why I take them.
Jess and I took a left turn. It took us over to a toll, and then we got stuck at the toll because the ones on the 2-lane roads aren't manned. And so of course, they wouldn't let me pay for both bikes. I had to pay for each one separately. But I had a extra fuel, one of the little ones that go in my saddlebag, and I was worried that I was going to have to use it there for a little bit. When we pulled into one town, I'm like, I'm surprised my light's not on yet.
Yeah.
Amy, yeah. I have not ran out yet.
Hey, on that one, though, in Montana, I knew it was going to be close because we're in the middle of fucking central Montana. And I see gas station coming. And I look over, they only got regular. Well, with my bike, with the cams, it's got in a little tune. It does not like regular. Betty fucking hates regular. And I didn't have any octane booster with me because I didn't think about that. So I'm like, oh, well, we'll just make it down here. And I looked at Harlington. I think it was like 60 miles to Harlington, Montana. And I had the fuel bottles in the trailer. I'm like, yeah, okay. If I need them, I need them. And we're going down the highway, and gas light comes on. I'm like, fuck, I got 30 miles to go. And finally, we literally round a corner. I can see the gas station. I can see the junction to the highway we want to turn on, and the engine shuts off. I'm like, shit. So I hit the shoulder, grab the clutch, just hit the kill switch so the fuel pump wouldn't run. And Amy's like, what's wrong? We're out of gas. Oh, the gas light come on? Oh, yeah, that's been on for a while. Let the car behind us go by. Then I got in the center lane, but on that one, I coasted 20 yards to the gas pump.
I have not ran out of gas yet, and that is my worst fear ever is to run out of gas. I just do it. But so we made it. I
think it's like anything with those little things that at the moment it sucks, but if you're prepared for it, I knew I had, almost a gallon in the trailer. I'm like, if I ran out on the way there, I knew it was going to be really close to make it there, but I have the reserve. So it's like, it is what it is. Let's just go. And that's the reason why I pack them though. And it's a habit. I don't like going on any sort of trip without having at least one of them or both of them in my saddlebag. They're easy to strap on. They have cases so I can strap them on the bike, different places and whatnot, but it is a good piece of cheap security.
Oh, for sure. I know. And I felt bad, because it was, and I tell Jess, I got to stop for gas again. And she's like, it's fine. And, but your time wise, so when we went, it was our second to our last stop. It was Eureka Springs. Let me tell you, I can tell you a lot of things about Eureka Springs, and it's one that I don't like. On a Saturday, it's a tourist town. Horrible. So we're on a time crunch anyway. So the night before we sat and looked at it, and we had to throw 2 bonuses because we were pressed for time, and there was no way that we were going to hit those 2 bonuses. Our most important thing was to hit the combo bonus, because we needed a suffrage, and the education. So those were the last 2 that we needed for that 5,000 bonus. So we get to Eureka Springs. It is packed traffic. They're having a Corvette show. I grab the first parking spot that I can grab, and I tell Jessica, pull up behind me, because we were comm together too. And I'm like, pull up behind me. So we get her parked. We had to walk from one end of Eureka to the other end of Eureka to get our bonus. 5 minutes to walk one way. Jess didn't even take her helmet off. So she's got her helmet off. I at least took mine off. We look like we had 2 little kids tell us, they look like astronauts. So, you're trying to get up to get these points. Traffic is going through. You're trying to get the picture of the building and then get back down there. Well, I got Jess is trying to get out of traffic. I pulled my bike out in the middle of traffic to get her out in traffic. And I'm like, go. We have to go and just get out of here. Because I knew that our next stop was putting us in at 1:13 was our next stop. And I needed gas. I knew I was going to need gas. I needed gas 5 minutes, or I think we were 5 minutes before the hotel. So you're getting gas. And I looked at Jess and I told her, you figure out to make sure that we've got all of our combo bonuses, and I'm going to the bathroom. And by the time I went to the bathroom and came back out, she looked at me and she goes, you are the fastest peer ever. She goes, I didn't even have time to look to see if we had everything.
Oh, shoot. That's too funny.
So I'm like, let's go. So we really debated on picking up one more bonus at the end. And I mean, it wouldn't have done anything for our points. It wouldn't have put us, we ended up 5th for our first rally, ending up 5th. And I am so happy with that. That's
awesome.
We tried to, if we even did the one that we would have picked up, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have put us, I think we still would have been like 200 points. But I have to tell you, Hop told me afterwards, he goes, you'll go back to your room and re-look at your route and go, where did I screw up? What did I do? What could I have done different? And I'm like, nah, I won't do that. Wrong. Mandee's up in the room looking at the rally book going, where did I screw up? What could I have picked up to make it different?
Well, it's, like I said, it's your first one. So, you're learning as you go. And, when I seen the posts about it, kind of following up to you guys leaving, because like I said, there's no social media. And then when it was over, seeing the results and, everybody's chit chatting again and posting, it was super cool to see, for me, of all of us, through our monster family and whatnot, seeing the familiar names on there and whatnot was super cool. And knowing that a lot of you people were first time riders into a rally, which is very inspirational. Even to myself, I've never done one. Someday I'm going to try one, but it's so cool to see people that, like myself, are brand new to it and how much fun everybody had. And it's super cool.
We had so much fun. And, you'd stop at a stop and you'd see, I saw Honor and I parked my bike and I ran up to her and I gave her a huge hug, and it's just, you see people and you're like, hey, do you need help? There was one bonus. I'm not kidding you. We thought, okay, you see the TV back there? I thought for sure that plaque was that big. No, it was not. It was the size of a business card. So you're trying to walk around, trying to find it, going, where the hell is this bonus? and it's tucked up underneath of a tree and it's the size of a business card. So you're trying to get your flag in there. And that one, Jess had ended up going to a different place. So I have the headset on trying to talk her out. No, you're in the wrong spot, So you're trying to find something this big or something huge. And sometimes they're not easy to find. So you have to take the time to look around, read your description, and your coordinates aren't even always right either, because something we did learn was, those little points that they send us, those can be moved. And we actually talked to somebody at the end of the rally that she
Hopper
actually,
shenanigans.
yeah, it is. She accidentally moved her pin, and if Hop is still listening or watching, he probably will tell. She moved her pin, and the cherry tree. She moved her pin. It wasn't even close to where she was supposed to be. We were at the women's vet memorial where there's like 6 women holding hands in a water fountain. Her picture was of a I want to call it not a cattle guard, but like a ranch thing where it said Taylorsville on it. She had moved her pin. So you've got to make sure that when you're messing with your map, that you're not moving your pins, or it's going to take you to the wrong spot.
Yeah, I could see that. So I got okay, Hop, if you're still in the side chat watching, how long did it take to plan out this rally for everybody with all the points? Because I'm curious, that aspect of the people putting it on, how long does it take to get something like this from start to finish to where it's ready to send out? Because I can imagine it's going to take a lot of time too.
Well, I'm sure he's typing that in there. Our rally book was 36 pages.
Jeez.
So, and there was about four points on each, so 4 bonuses on each page. So you could kind of, if you look at this map too, I mean, there was points for people to go down to Texas, to Tennessee. There was points up in Wyoming. There was points in Nebraska, Colorado. So if people started remote, there was an option for them to have those points as well. So, you can start at your point, but everybody had to finish in Fort Smith.
So he said a couple months on this one. It was quick. Normally it's 7 to 8 months. Wow. I could imagine it would take a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Hop, did Nancy and you and Paul all collaborate with all of the points? And it was all women's history stuff too, which was so cool. You've got a women's rally. It's women's history.
That's super cool. So did this whole thing, did after doing this, it kind of open up a new adventure thirst on, the rally side of riding and wanting to attempt more of them?
Oh, for sure. If I could get the time off for Hop's rally next month, I would go. Definitely would go.
That's awesome.
But it's a work thing. But Hop's rally also is geared towards beginners, so which is great for people to, if people want to kind of test out the rally world, Hop's rallies too. That's great. When I kind of figured out I was going to do this, I really started to play with Google Maps. And if I can give any advice now, I am no seasoned huge rally person, but for me, it helped me playing with maps and mapping different routes out to go find things and making myself go find things. Because not always is it about riding the miles. I can get on my bike and I did it today. Chad and I got on our bike and we rode, what did I tell you?
400 and something?
430 miles. We went down to a friend's house, dropped off popcorn, and came back. We didn't stop anywhere. Anybody can do that, but these rallies, I allotted 2 hours for stops. So when Nancy kind of helped me with this, she said it was like 21 hours ride time. So it's a 30-hour rally. Subtract your rest bonus, subtract your meal bonus, and then about 5 to 7 minutes a stop. So I was like 2 hours. Perfect, right? The last day I'm over here going, we gotta go, and And we missed stops. We had to throw stops out and we missed some.
Yeah, he said they're already working on next year, so it'll be the Heart of Texas in April.
Nice.
Hops
Yeah,
Rally
and
would be fun. I'd love to try, but I mean, November is that'd be a rough time to get from the Northwest of Texas. Plus, I don't have any more time off this year, but I do want to someday attempt one and do one and see how it goes.
okay, so Hopper, and isn't there the Pacific Northwest rally in, I don't have my notes, but June? So I mean, there's one up in your area that one of the ladies, one of the ladies that rode this, but it's the Pacific Northwest rally and it's up there. Huh. That's in June. There's one for you to give a whirl.
Hey, Hop, if you have information on that, send it to me if you could. That'd be great.
So did you watch the Iron Butt rally stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where I really started to get intrigued with this. I even printed off, when they got done with the rally, I printed off their bonuses. Because that's the other thing, is some of these bonuses that they had was like, okay, this is really cool. I want to go see this. So if you just want to go see things, these rally books are available for you to go see them. You know, it's like, okay, hey, they say with the directions, you pay for them. And I paid for this rally book. I mean, I can share it if I want. I don't have to share if I want to, but it's public knowledge because it's on the webpage. So you can
Hop, I text you. Oh, sorry, man. I text you my email address, Hop. So if you can get something, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'd love to check it out and see how it is. I know we got the Monster K in June, but we'll have to see what happens.
I looked at doing the LDX rally, and that starts in Iowa. And I thought, well, that one would be pretty cool to do. But that's right. The Monster K is right in the middle of that.
Yeah. Which is fun. My middle son, he signed up for the Monster K. He wants to ride down there with me. So that'd be super awesome. Yeah,
it would be cool. So, because I'm on my phone, I can't go through, the history. Nancy did an amazing job. The fun thing about this rally is, for all of us that did this for the first time, our flags and our numbers, well, our flags will change next year, but our rider numbers will always be our rider numbers. As long as we participate in this rally, I will be number 25.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's so cool. But everybody made everybody so comfortable. We had dinner the night before with everybody that was there, and so many of the different riders you became friends with. You're friends with people on Facebook, but until you meet those imaginary friends in person.
Yep.
It was so great to meet all of these women that were out there for the same purpose. And if you had a question, they were there to help you. And Hop was a huge help. It was like, okay, I don't understand this. And he was right there to help you. And Paul was there and Nancy was there. And just to have those seasoned riders too, to help us with these things.
No, that's super cool. And I think the way they all did it is really cool to, open up a door for, motorcycle enthusiasts, for all you girls that enjoy riding, and then introduce you to another passion that's going to get you addicted even more.
Yeah. And some women are like, I'm not going to go do that because I got to go against 50 different men. But when you open this up to the women, they're like, I'm in, I'll go.
Yeah. I mean, it's a drive. We all enjoy life on two wheels, enjoy riding. So why not challenge myself a different way and see how much I like it and see how a new addiction could possibly be born.
Oh, for sure. When you come into that finish line, I was just like, okay, you think you're just coming into the finish line, but we had 8 hours of rest, but we're still tired. It's taxing on your brain. It's taxing everywhere. You pull in and they're like, kickstand down, and they're getting your kickstand down, and they're, and there's everybody around you and they're taking pictures, and then they're getting your odometer check and everything. And you're kind of not paying attention, which happens to me frequently. And I kept thinking, okay, I have to go park after this. So I went and parked, and then you think you're done. Either I didn't finish reading the rally rules, or I wasn't paying attention when this was said, but which is a good possibility because I like to talk a lot. Guess who I see? I see Ken Andrews. I'm like, Ken! So I go over and I'm visiting with him. And he's like, did you get checked in? I'm like, yeah. They checked my odometer. I'm all checked in. He goes, girl, you still are on the clock. Get in there now. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you still need to go check in. I had no idea. So if Ken wouldn't have been there and told me, I still would have been out John to people. I was standing outside with Linda and her husband taking selfies. I mean, I'm like, hey, we did it. This is fun. Great job. You got to go finish your shit. So then you go in and they give you your sheet and then they go, okay, you need to match this up to see if everything matches your stuff. So that's when you sit down, and if you have any discrepancies, that's when you find out if anything isn't scored, all of that stuff. And so you initial it. And the great thing is, and I don't know the Iron Butt well enough to, the IBR on how their scoring system is, but I've heard a lot of people say that you have to go sit down in front of somebody and go through your cards and go through all of that stuff. This we did not. It was all electronically scored. You reviewed everything, signed off on it, and then you're done. Then you can go talk to everybody and take all your selfies.
Then you can socialize.
Yeah. So, and Jess and I worked well together too, because we work off of the same stomach schedule, if that makes sense. You're like, okay, I can get up in the morning, I can have a cup of coffee, I can eat a Cliff Bar, and I can have snacks. And if anybody knows me well enough, I have a snack bag on my bag. It's not for anything else other than snacks. So I can sit and eat jerky and all of that stuff all day. Well, finally about 3:30 on Friday, I'm like, I'm hungry. Are you? And I'm like, we might as well take our meal bonus, figure out what we need to do. And I just happened to we were parked right across the street from a police station. A detective had came out, and I'm like, hey, best place to eat, sit down restaurant with a menu and a server. And he told us exactly where we went. And I have to tell you, that was probably the best meal, but I was really freaking hungry too. But that was one of the best meals. And if I can give anybody any other advice too, ask your locals where to eat. He got us there quick. It didn't take us any time. When the server came in too, we had our books scattered everywhere. And she's like, what are you girls doing? And so we told her what we were doing with the rally. And she's like, that is so cool that you guys are out doing this. You eat, you get your receipt, and you go on your way. But it was, the next morning we got up, we didn't eat, we had our coffee. And by the time we hit the finish line, both Jessica and I'm like, we need to go eat something now, because at that point you're getting hangry and somebody's not going to be happy with me. So, but snacks are an important part of rallying as well.
So how much time total did you spend? Were you right at your 30 hours, or where'd you come in clockwise?
I believe, let me look at my scorecard. I don't know if it tells you what time you came in. I believe I checked in at 1:40 is what time I checked in, because that was about what time my GPS said that we were supposed to be back at the hotel.
Was that like afternoon wise or?
Yep. So we started on Friday at 8 a.m. and our check-in time was at 2:00 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So 30 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. You really learn time management in a hurry.
I know you mentioned, with Hopper and Kim, but did you have a big mentor going into this that really helped?
Nancy really helped. She was great, because if you had any questions at all, you could call her, you could message her. She was really quick to get back with you at it. We did a couple Zoom meetings too. So that was nice to have. If anybody had any questions, they could attend those Zoom meetings and ask whatever questions. But if we posted anything on our Facebook page, it was a quick answer. Oh, so Michael, you wanted to hear our sleep story? So I told Jess, I'm like, take a tent just in case, because if we get somewhere where we can get gas and the weather's decent, we'll just sleep in the tents, whatever. Yeah. We stayed at the Ramada because it was 40 degrees and neither one of us wanted to sleep in the tent at 40 degrees. So we just got a hotel.
Oh, come on. Sleeping in 40-degree weather with a 40-degree sleeping bag, let me tell you, it's fantastic. Don't ever do
No,
it.
no, don't ever do it.
I learned that lesson. I got home from the Monsters Over Mountains this year, and I very quickly ordered myself a 0-degree mummy bag, and that will go everywhere with me. And no, that 40-degree did not cut it when it
No.
came to that. My feet were so cold, and I mean, I slept in all my clothes, and I was still cold. I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah, see, I want to know Shell's story about her stay at the local PD because I see a picture of her at the police department and she started remotely too. Now Shell took second. And the other thing with her, everybody was calling her a sandbagger because she started remotely and nobody knew she was participating in the rally other than Nancy, Hop, and Riot knew. I talked to her 2 days before I left and I'm like, so are you going? And she's like, she gave me the Shell runaround of, I'm not quite sure, haven't really decided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
Shell slept great that night when I'm freezing cold, and they're all, I'm listening to my buddy Steve snoring. Everybody's got a great night's sleep, not me. But
Yeah.
yeah, Shell's super cool, man. I
I
was
love
so
that
glad I
woman
get
to
to know
death.
Shell and got to hang
Yep.
out with her and get to know her because she is a kick in the pants.
Oh, when I saw her, I was like, hey, you showed up. Because I thought she just showed up to go, hey, congrats, lady. Nope, she comes in a hot second place. And I'm surprised I didn't run into her, but I think that she ran her, when I was talking to her, I think a lot of women ran the route opposite of what Jess and I did because Jess and I only saw 3 different people and everybody else was going the opposite direction as us. Nobody was going the same way that we were. And I kept telling Jess, either we're really stupid right now or we are really smart because I'm not quite sure what's happening because we are seeing nobody up here.
It's like Shell said, they wouldn't let her sleep in the park. So that was Thursday night. Well, I remember following the IBR this year, and you see people all over the Midwest, and there's like 2 people up in the Northwest Territories up in Canada. There's got to be a hellacious huge bonus points because there was 2 tractors way up there. It's like, holy shit.
I think Ken said that one up there was worth 14,000 points. So you're running. And so my total mileage, that was the other thing, because not everybody had high miles. I had 1,042 miles is what I had.
That's pretty good for your stop times, fuel, having to stop for your, these pictures, your mandatory stops and whatnot, and still getting over 1,000 miles is damn impressive, Mandee.
Oh, for sure. Hop told my husband that he thought that he'd see probably 700-800 miles. And Hop, correct me if I'm wrong, there was a high number of women that came in with high miles and even low miles and high points. So you couldn't really kind of factor, there was some people that had 700 miles and had high points. So the lady that won it, she ended up having 60,000 points. I had 57,000. I'd have to look at all of the, Shell, I don't know how many you ended up having. Were you at 58,000, I think? 58 or 59. I don't remember how many she was at, but I mean, they were high points.
Shell had, I just pulled it up, 58,920.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So St. Louis had high points. There were 2 high points in St. Louis that were over 800 points. So it's seriously, and I heard women that that they went down to Dallas and said it was a shit show in Dallas. I did kind of look at Dallas and I went, you know what? I've rode in Dallas before on a Friday. No, thank you. I do not want to be down there.
I found that out with LA on a Friday night. Oh, that was hell. But 13 out of 28 women had over 1,000 miles.
That is so awesome that they're out there doing that,
Yeah.
And I don't know about anybody else, but we've got our Mile Monster family, but this Valkyrie family is absolutely amazing. I mean,
Oh, I could imagine it is.
we got some great swag bags while we were there. Give all credit to Chris that he found us necklaces with a motorcycle, our birthstone, and our initial. And all of us got
Oh,
one of
that's
those.
awesome.
And we got, I gotta find them here, our shirts, of course. And then we got wings. And then we got a hotel room key. And on the back of it, it says, "Don't ride faster than your Valkyrie can fly." And then we all got these little ruins. And if you look them up, my letter is an F, but the ruin alphabet. And so we were all sharing these the other day, and my letter means wealth. So it was really cool to see Nancy gave all of these, and Chris and Paul, the work for the swag bags that they gave us was so cool. And cups, that was the other thing we got, was cups with the Valkyrie logo on it and the dates of the ride. And then Brandy, so you remember she did the 1K with me in June for the monster ride.
Mm-hmm.
She made all of us flower coasters too. So it was just a great community all together, all around.
Absolutely. Which makes it so much more cool. I mean, the personal effects you guys have, what you got in your bags and everything, and the camaraderie and the family that you guys built, that it's all, that tight-knit family, and it's great.
For sure. You see, I don't know how many of the ladies were, Betsy made the cups. Some of these ladies that were coming in are previous Hoka Hay riders, and some new that are going to ride this next year. So it was a whole mixture of women that were there Chad and I were just talking. I am shy of 20,000 miles this year.
It's awesome.
So I have been riding my butt off, and I thought, 10,000 miles for me, I'll hit that. Well, I hit that in June. So now I'm like, I'm almost close to 20,000. Let's get this, so hence the ride today, because I'm so close.
I know for me, it was August 3rd to the 22nd of September. I did over 8,000, which is, I've never done that in like 6 or 7 weeks, but that's, Sturgis, the turbo run, the Moss Over Mountains and everything. It's like, holy crap. It's like I did an oil change, and 3 weeks later, I got to do another one. It's like, Jesus.
I think I'm on my second rear tire already. So.
Yeah, that's my next thing, is I got to do tires this fall. So
yeah. And then, and I'm not ready to put the bike away, and that's why I tell everybody all the time, heated gear is huge. Honor went out for a ride today. That's the other thing is, so last week we just finished the honor roll ride, because we were riding with her, riding every day. So she's been riding, I don't even know what day she's on, but she's been riding her bike every day this year.
Something.
Yep. So Riot threw out, everybody to support her the second week of the month and to ride. Well, I've been trying to ride every day so far, and she made a really good point. We sat down and had dinner the night before the rally, and she said, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I can't ride all year long." And she goes, "Great, you can't ride all year long, but you can ride for your season. Everybody has a season, so ride for your season." And I went, thanks, Honor, because she just put it right into perspective that I have snow. That doesn't mean that I can't, as soon as snow's gone, that I can't ride every day for my season.
Yeah. Just make sure that de-icer is going off the road, because that shit is horrible on your bike.
Yeah. Yep. So.
But no, same way. It's like, we're fortunate, like even in Washington, you can ride pretty much year round. It's, you get the snow, the crappy weather, so you get a few weeks down. But I think the most important thing, like I always wait for, is once the snow and ice is melted, excuse me, it's nice to get a good rain to help wash some of that de-icer and that crap off the road. Otherwise, like, you got to come home and wash your bike, because that stuff will just ruin chrome and aluminum and everything.
Well, in Minnesota salts. So
yeah, you guys get heavy salt. I think they don't salt up here as heavy as what they do in the Midwest.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably like, and I'm pulling numbers out my butt, but it's probably like a 90% salt ratio. At least it feels like it, because it's just, the roads are white.
Yeah, they use a heavy brine. They just lay it heavy up here when it's going to get nasty.
Yeah. Yep. So do you have any more questions about the rally stuff? I mean, I really recommend just start mapping your stuff out to go see things. That's the best way to start doing this. And it's so
Hey,
fun.
that's a good point. Way to do it. Make yourself your
Yeah.
own little deal. Hit here, and that's very smart.
The only thing that I didn't do, and I wish I kind of would have changed it, was made myself go find those points within a certain amount of time, instead of going, well, I'm just going to go ride and find the points. When I did my M ride, I had a couple things that I had planned out that was during that. So I knew I had to get those stops plus my M done in that amount of time. But never did I go, okay, I'm going to map out this stuff and then I'm going to go ride it in 5 hours. So that's kind of how to get yourself ready too, is just start mapping and get to know Google Maps. If anybody has any questions, I play with it all the time. And I'm like, okay, if I could show you a picture of my maps, and I have green dots everywhere of stuff that I want to go see. So you just map yourself. But remember, when you create a map, you've created the map, but then you have to map it from there, which people forget. That next step is to map it to the next step. So when that happened with Jess and I, she actually got the map to pull up. So it pulled up step by step by step, where on my side, I mapped it from each stop. So I had all of my pins on my map, and then I'd hit that pin that I knew where we were going to next, and I would hit start. And then it would map me over there.
So you you'd take a place and then save it, save a pin, drop a pin like favorite place or whatnot on your map.
Yep.
Oh,
and then,
okay.
Yep. And then map it from there.
Oh, that,
and
yeah. So you could click it and say start and then go to that spot.
And something else that I learned that Nancy really helped me with, because I called her and I'm like, I've got my map done. And every time I go to start it, it tells me preview. What am I doing wrong? She goes, change your address to where you are currently and see if it changes it. So when I map my map from Fort Smith to Oklahoma to Kansas and all the way around, because I wasn't in Fort Smith, it would only show preview. And so that was the big thing, was trying to get it there.
To start there.
Yep.
Well, I hate when you map out a route, these points, and you go to, it's like I would send it to, Frank. But it would come up instead of, going through Wash, it was taking us up through Canada in this long loop around. I'm like, fuck, we ain't going to Canada. It's like we got to go the other side of Washington. And sometimes I get frustrated with Google because it decides it wants to reroute you and send you somewhere way off the beaten path. But
yep. So there's also a setting in Google that, in watching all of these videos that I watched, was very interesting. There's actually a setting that is in your Google Maps that has to be unchecked, and it will stop it from doing that.
Oh, good. When you figure that out, text me and let me know what's boxed uncheck.
Yeah. So I'm trying to log into my computer real quick because I want to read this. It's on, because I'm having to use my phone. It's on my phone. Let me see if I can pull this up here. I'm going to try really hard not to lose you, okay?
Okay. We'll just see you frozen there.
Okay.
Frosty is frozen.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, because I think I can't see it because you're doing something else.
Okay, so I'm going to put you down for just... Okay, I'm going to put you down for just a second, log in here so I can do this.
Okay.
But somebody had made a... they read the thing about the Valkyrie, so I just want to read that quick.
Okay.
And I had it up on my phone, but since I had to use my phone... Any other questions while we're doing this?
No, actually, I mean, I think really we covered a whole lot of things that I ever, going through stuff. No, this is great. I greatly, appreciate you coming on and sharing, your whole story of basically start to finish and in between. It was really cool. And like I said, posting, talk about, it's going to be, an educational, I mean, even for people listening, but no, even for myself, it's, this is a lot of fun because I get to learn more stuff, and hopefully maybe at some point I will apply it to doing it. Nuh-uh. You can't do it on ice and mixed drinks there, Vic. You got to learn the rules.
It was interesting too, because I heard some people say, okay, I like the hoka because somebody gives me the directions. I have to tell you, I really like the rally part of it because I like the mapping part of it. And that just intrigues me. So, okay, so I found this and I just want to read this. Karen, so they gave Nancy a axe for being such a great woman, of course, but this is going to explain it.
Okay.
So Valkyries are the personification of death, battle, and victory by utilizing superhuman strength, stamina, speed, durability, and reflexes. Not every female maiden is chosen as a Valkyrie, as specifications are precise. Valkyries are sent to the battlefield to choose the slain souls that are found worthy of a place in Valhalla. Similarly to our battle by choosing and collecting our bonus locations successfully. We are good, orderly beings who serve our master's purpose. Our deed is done, our battle is won. So then she goes in and says, per Arthur Richard North, when referring to Valkyrie, they were loud, yes, they were. When they rode over the mound, they were fierce when they rode across the land. Shield yourself now, you can survive this strife, where those mighty women marshaled their powers. In Norse mythology, goddess Freya is looking upon as the commander of the Valkyrie, as she is in the main and most powerful chooser among them. And I'm going to really try not to cry here, because Nancy did just an amazing job with all of this for us. And it said, and so when they gave her the axe, and it had a beautiful inscription on it and stuff, I'll share a picture with you. Tonight we lean to our commander. Without her, none of this would have been possible. Goddess Nancy, on behalf of our Valkyrie, we thank you. So then they presented the axe to her from all of us, which was so
awesome.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, those are one of those things that they took so much time for all of us to make sure that we had such a good time with all of this and fun. And they were there to answer questions. Jess and I, luckily enough, never had to ask any questions, but I know if we would have, they would have been right there to help.
Oh, I'm sure they would. Yeah. And that's, just the support of that community that you all became part of.
For sure. For sure. And even Hop too, Hop and Paul, the guys, it was great camaraderie at the dinner, everything. So it was so much fun. And if anybody is interested, get a hold of Hop, go do his rally. I mean, I wish I had time to do it. I think it's called Splash this year. And he did say too that he's not going to have a huge ass flag, because last year the flag was huge. I saw pictures. It was huge. So.
Yes, Hop's rally is this the second or third year, Hop?
And it's called Splash, isn't it? I think it's called Splash is what it is this year.
It would be fun to go do. I wish I could, but maybe one of these years I can get down there.
Yeah, so check the Pacific Northwest one too.
I will. I sent Hop my email. I'm gonna do some Googling. Oh, the 5th year. Oh shit, I was way off.
Nice. So it's my understanding with the Pacific Northwest one also that is an Hop, because I don't know all the terminology yet. That's put you in as for a no draw for the IBR. But I don't remember how that works. He may have to explain it. So he'll probably explain it.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I definitely want to check into it and see when it is and do some research. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it is. And let me tell you, the points, you sit here, you go, I got to have this, and then you maximize your points, and then you're like, shit, I got to drop this.
Like anything, it's an education, and
yep.
we're forever learning and figuring stuff out.
Yeah, super excited. And I hope to see more women doing it for next year. I want to encourage everybody to do it and get out there and do it. And if there's questions to, ask us. I think all of us will pretty much help anybody when it comes to questions with this. And the lady writers were amazing. There were seasoned writers that screwed up on their pictures. There was one lady that she took a picture of one house and it was the house next to it. So it happened. Yeah, it happens. There was a few times I walked around and I took a picture of one and I'm like, I think that's it, Jess. And she goes, that's not it. So I'm like, always check your rally book. Rule number 3, always check your rally book.
Take it with you.
Yep. And we did. I think there was probably maybe one stop I didn't carry the rally book with me.
Yeah, Heart of Texas winner gets no draw entry. And then he says, yeah, next year is going to be huge.
I hope so. The coolest experience is when we left. To have all of us lined up all together and just the emotion with all of it. It was everything that I could do just not to cry then and not to cry when you come in at the checkpoint. You just kind of compose yourself and go, okay, I got to get my kickstand down.
Well, mentally and physically pushing yourselves and tasking yourself. And I could imagine.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The Heart of Texas. I don't know when that one is. Hop will probably put those up. But yeah, Denver, if you can put any of those up, if anybody's interested in it. And the Valkyrie Facebook page, if anybody's interested in joining that for the women, I'll add you to it. There's good information on there that's happening constantly from all of the other women.
June and April. So, yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, no, I'm going to definitely be checking into that Pacific Northwest one. That'll be interesting. I'd start doing some research.
Mm-hmm. Yep. June, I think, is when that one is.
Okay. Sweet.
So Missouri, because I believe there was a Missouri rally that happened too. And that happened while we were doing ours. And that was just in Missouri. So they're all over. Hopper, what's the rally? I don't know what the website is where you can go and see what the different rallies are that are going on or different rides that are going on. That's the other, because like right now, the other ride that I'm doing is the MS 5000. So that's where I'm trying to ride.
I saw Paul's.
Yep. So I'm doing Paul's ride too right now too, in between all of this. So that was a goal, which I still have going on. So if anybody is interested, hit me up because I'm giving a quilt away again. So
yeah, for the MS 5000, that started September 1st.
Yep, and it ends October 20th. So, like I said, I'm giving a quilt away again for this one. So anybody that donates $20 to my ride gets you in for a drawing for that quilt. So that is done on the 20th of October.
Sweet. Awesome. And it's fun to be able to do something we all enjoy for a greater good and an awesome cause. I think it's just a win-win.
Yeah. Yep. You pick them up. Mile Monsters is my number one priority. MS 5000 came in and Jess's mom had MS. So we decided to, do that one. And then the Valkyrie Rally, that one was just for fun.
And Long Haul Paul is such a very inspirational person. I had him on, it was a couple months ago, and just, hearing some of his story, it's like, holy crap. And,
Yep.
it's inspirational. And, it's like you said, a lot of us, we've all got to know each other through Mile Monsters, but then you learn these other communities also that are very close to it, like with Paul's and, his battle with MS and what he does to continue to raise funds and knowledge and everything he can to help with MS was something he lives with every day.
Yeah, and that's where I learned from that ride is what I watched him on here, and that was I'm like, I'm signing up for that. Heck yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, well, thanks for coming and hanging out tonight, Mandee. And a little technical difficulty once we started. Everything worked great the first 20 minutes, and then you hit go, and it's like, nah, I'm not going to cooperate.
No, I'm like, phone.
Yep, been there, done that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for having me. So if anybody notices too, because I'm like, Denver, mile marker 113. That's my Mile Monster number. How appropriate.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know you reached out. Can I be 113? I'm like, yeah, not a problem.
Yeah,
I'm game.
after the rally. Yeah. But thanks for having me. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it.
It's fun, and thank you. I mean, I have so much fun doing these, and I mean, it's you get to learn little things every once, and you continue every guest I've ever had. The best part is that friendship that you build with everybody, and
Yep.
it's just so much fun. You get to be, well, I shouldn't say get to be, you get to know that community that we're all part of a little bit better. It's like, you're sitting face to face, you're not, like across the table, but you get to put a face to that name. And man, I enjoy doing these so much. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of when we went, in Sturgis,
Mhm.
when you see your imaginary friends and you actually get to meet them in person, you're like, you're real.
Yeah, very
Yep.
true. That's a good way of putting it. So, well, hey, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight for Milepost 113 with Frosty, as we got to learn a whole lot about the Valkyrie Rally, which was super cool. And we'll you guys will see you next Sunday for Milepost 113. The info will come out on that on Tuesday. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Have fun, ride safe, and enjoy that open road. And we'll catch you